Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. It's always fun to return to the Pleiadians. We've covered the Pleiadians several times on recent episodes, including the galactic tidal wave of light, the bringers of dawn, and the dance of dimensions. Today we're going to go over a chapter from Earth Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library that discusses Earth's initiation as it moves into this different form of consciousness. At the end of this episode is a beautiful energy exercise which is very powerful. Earth's initiation. This present-day epoch involves the fall of global civilization and a reawakening of a brand new form of consciousness. This is unheralded in your history. We have emphasized your value as well as that of Earth. She is your mother. She feels you. She knows your name. In her quest for understanding, she has allowed a grave misuse of energy and has even allowed herself to lose her true identity by being raped and abused by humankind. In order for Earth to make the necessary leap that will affect all of this universe, a cleansing and healing, an initiation must take place. In an initiation, you must pass through the bowels of hell, through that which appears to want to destroy you and limit you. Actually, you face that which you fear. If you find yourself immersed in what you fear, hold the image of who you are as a whole and happy being and transmute the energy of fear by learning about yourself. You energize fearful thought forms into being. When your energy field no longer holds the fear, what you fear no longer has the life to destroy you. Initiation concluded a series of tests that bring you to mastery within a part of existence. Earth is going through an initiation and will guide you through the process as well. Earth is on the crux of an identity crisis. There have been summits and meetings by environmental organizations that act as if band-aids will fix things in time. No, there's no fixing the dam as the bricks crack, crumble, and fall. What is this dam? It is all of the ideas and structures and belief systems that hold the waters of consciousness together. You are made from water, dear friends. Earth is going to go through tumultuous changes. After studying the records of Earth and of many worlds, we see this probability as being inevitable because of the extensive polarity on your planet. Rest assured that the more you pollute and destroy Earth, the more energy will go into shifting and shaking to clean things up. Humans who do not operate with love of self and love of the planet will be departing in vast numbers very quickly after exposure to the rays entering Earth. This is part of the electromagnetic change of this civilization. In death, the human vehicle moves consciousness into another realm. You must become aware of yourselves as spiritual beings and ground this knowledge into practical application of your now. As Earth moves forward into her own experiences, there will be multitudes sitting on etheric bleachers without physical bodies, watching the laws of cause and effect play themselves out. That is the only way they can get the lessons about valuing themselves and planetary existence. These watchers will feel the collective emotions of the participants on Earth. In this way, they will both participate and perhaps infuse you with compassion as comrades of all that is. Some of you want to pretend that the Earth changes are not occurring. However, they are occurring, and there is nothing to fear, for they are part of the process of the great shift. Each of you creates your own reality and an opportunity to evolve. On some level of awareness, all of you who are on the planet at this time know of the agenda because this potentiality of Earth is stored in all blueprints. Though many of you will be surprised to find yourselves in this place of turmoil and transformation and wonder how you ended up here. You are all choosing to be here. Whether you stay on the planet and alter your vibration, or you check out and sit in the bleachers to watch the show, doesn't really matter. On some level, in some avenue of existence, you will participate and you will learn. Have compassion and neutrality and understand pain can be a powerful teacher. If you are in pain today, you do not need to be in pain tomorrow. Certainly, you do not need to be in pain a week or 2 weeks from now, because the cells in your body keep changing. It is you that tells your cells how to be every time they change. It is you who replicates yourself time after time through your thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. The healing crisis has just begun and the fever is building. You will move into a peak chaos. During this time, there will be a great movement to create fear and confusion on the planet. Concurrently, there will be a great merging of the multidimensional self, because energy fields from space will have been opened to allow sources of intelligence to travel quite easily along these pathways. They will travel through to you and emerge in your domain. This present-day epoch involves the fall of global civilization and a reawakening of a brand new form of consciousness. This is unheralded in your history, registered in some people's memory, and on the planet's surface itself is the shifting of the land masses, the sinking of what you call the Atlantean continent through a cataclysm. In its time period, that landmass called Atlantis was an entity unto itself. The state of global community and global effectiveness that you have today is very different from what existed during Atlantean times. Societies, of course, were all touched by the shifting of the Atlantean landmass in one way or another. However, the effects today will be far different. You have telecommunication networks, continuous traveling and exchanging of ideas from one landmass to another, and an interweaving of peoples and intermarrying of the various continents and cultures. These things will make the effects of the changes far grander than the effects of the sinking of Atlantean landmass. Atlantis was not as completely integrated and linked to the rest of the planet as your continents are. There's much less isolation now, so you affect one another more. There will be no continent untouched and no people unmoved by what takes place. There will be few of you who will not have to migrate, for all of you basically will relocate yourselves at some point. For some of you, this is unheard of, yet by relocating yourselves there will be a major shift in consciousness. Few of you in the next 10 years will move only once. Some said to us recently, "This is shocking to me. You are really disturbing me." We said, "Good, we want to disturb you." He said, "I have a dozen monkeys, I have goats, I have this. What am I to do? I don't know what to save, what to pack up, what to give away." We said, "Listen, the first time you move, take a big truck and cram all your stuff into it and save everything you can and drive away. The next time, you might have time to fit it all in your car and drive away. The next time you move, you might only walk away with everything you can carry on your back. And the final time you move, you might take only what you hold in your hands." Do you get that? There is a need to mentally let go of attachments and be in the peace and clarity of the moment. Perhaps for you, those are the big moves. Eventually, your fixation on material goods will become meaningless to you. You'll be moved to take care of your life, not to take care of your goods. You will learn to trust your feeling center and let spirit guide you to a new home if need be. To energize your new location, you can say, "All right, I'm getting an impulse to move. I don't know where to go." There are a number of ways you can go about energizing the new direction. Every night before you go to sleep, you can say to yourself, "I intend to activate the location of my new home in my dreams. I intend to dream of my new home. I intend to remember the new home, and I intend with clarity to recognize it in 3D. Using a pendulum and dowsing are other ways that you can check, verify, and discover your location. There are individuals who are delineating quite clearly through prophecy where the safer areas are going to be. There are a number of ways you can do this yourselves. Your lives will be, out of necessity, simplified. The more you can prepare for this simplification, the easier it will be on you. Unclutter your lives by letting go of the unnecessary things that would drag you down with responsibilities. the things you don't need. Lighten up, sit on the ground, feel the earth, communicate with earth, and trust earth. Trust that when earth moves, you will move in sync. Trust that earth will love you, warn you, and inform you in some way. Trust the insects will speak to you along with the cats, the dogs, and the birds. If you have this communication and deep love and appreciation for the energy of Earth's vibration, Earth will work for you. Remember, she knows you. No matter where you are, she knows your feelings and intentions and responds accordingly. As you learn to trust that Earth works with you, you deepen the trust of yourself. If at some point you find you are without food, we suggest that you remember something you do have, which is your most valuable resource, your imagination. It has been proven that people can imagine themselves eating and feel nourished. Can you embrace that idea? This would take great discipline, however. You can imagine food before you and yourself sitting and eating it. Imagine it moving through your body and imagine yourself tasting it and feeling full. That is a suggestion if you find yourself really pushed to the limit. As the changes take place, many of Earth's animals will leave the planet. The vibrations that come about will be quite different as people process pain. There is a collective pain stored inside everyone, and this must be brought to the surface to detoxify yourselves. Your environment is so toxic you cannot escape it. You have no idea. Yet many of you feel great every day and will continue to feel great every day because you create what your cells do. Others can create toxic situations for you. You can be subjugated by these situations and spiral downward. Or you can say, I create my reality. And while I'm creating my reality, I'm learning how much I am creating around me. Earth changes are equated with death, yes? On your planet, you know next to nothing about death. There's a tremendous opportunity in all of these shifts to learn about death. It appears to some of you that as people leave or die, there is mishap taking place. It appears that there is failure and that something was done wrong. We see the opposite. We see people leaving the planet with a new point of view. They are so gifted because many of you have your hearts open and are transmitting unity of purpose, allowing others to know and realize what they came for. Not everyone came here to see a new earth. Can you realize that some people came to this planet to die in peace without torture and pain and to die with a consciousness of liberation? There are multitudes of death walkers on the planet at this time. They are capable and willing to follow the dead into the realms of the unknown. They create peace for those who cross over. A great commerce between the living and the dead will revive. Those who cross over to die will not lose a thing. They will gain consciousness. One of them might say, I have completed a cycle. I no longer need to carry a painful body, and I do not ever need to die in fear again. Many people have come to Earth at this time so that death will be understood. They've been held here through lower astral entrapments and frequency control. It is a challenge for each and every one of you to assist others in leaving the planet. This does not mean the taking of life. The vital force that you are has a purpose and agenda. And the more you communicate and stay with your body, the easier your transition will be. In the ideal, you will learn how to consciously die and deactivate your bodily functions. There's nothing to fear in death except the things you imagine about it. It is all set on your own decree or the decree of those you choose to follow. Trust yourself and design your own experience. Dare to create the ideal. When you are afraid of death or pain and you have an opportunity to assist someone pass over, your heart may want to close down. You may think, I can't do this. I can't look at death. It is too frightening. Keep your heart open. Let the goddess do it, and you will find that there is a ripeness and timeliness in every person's exit. Yes, events are being orchestrated. However, they cannot be orchestrated without the consciousness to match them. As you are clearing the last dregs of fear and misunderstanding, many of you will be called upon to work with the dead and help release them. When this happens on a large scale, you will find that those who have passed over will periodically return. When you become a death walker, you are able to make the death experience with another and walk back from it, to go to the other side and come back. You find there are many different energies accompanying each person's journey. Ask for a knowledgeable, uplifted, wise, and benevolent being to blend with you and help you understand the best way to create the highest opportunity for the death. Ask to have the ability to walk through the death experience and see people over to the other side as they once did in ancient Egypt. Take the departed on a boat and journey to the other side, then come back and tell everyone where they went. For some of you, this is essential to master on your earth plane. When you're helping someone die, let yourself become a huge cloak and allow your molecules to be dispersed. As you become this huge cape, become one with the being who is dying and go with him or her. Create a pillar of light. Let the light move upward, then go with it, and see what takes place. It will be very, very profound. There are many recognized near-death experiences that have taken place over the last 15 or 20 years. Knowledge from those who have gone over and come back is essential to peace on your planet. Time after time, those who have died come back to the loved ones they left behind and tell where they are and verify where you took them. There will also be many who appear to die. They will experience the portal of death, then return to life altered. This is known as a near-death experience. When people move from one dimension to another, when they die, as you call it on your earth plane, the process can be greatly facilitated through the use of sound. You may want to experiment with different kinds of sound. You may want to make sound through instruments, or sing. You will discover that it is most appropriate. Ask for guidance and impulses. You need to make an agreement to trust your impulses. They are what will save your bodies. When you get an impulse that says leave, something is telling you to move. Something is telling you to go, so do it. Learn to recognize your impulses and to respond to them. One of the greatest gifts you can give to your parents is to assist them off the earth plane, much as they assisted your presence onto earth with the gift of life. They brought you into being, and there is a cycle to be felt. Understand the release of karma, the letting go. They said to you, "Here you are, I give you life." You say to them, "Here you are, I help you out of life." People have children to complete and fulfill a cycle. Seek to discover joy in all phases of existence. Many of you may be contacted by dead people telling you they are stuck and need help getting over to the other side. They may have been dead for a number of months or years. This involves another kind of death walking. You can say, "Go to the light. Go and look for some friends." We will learn how to do this because it is in your cells. It is not something you will necessarily take courses in. You will remember how. It can be considered a privilege to be with people as they exit the earth plane. You may not be able in your conscious mind to journey with them into death, for this takes a certain ability. Also, if you're very attached to people, you may not be permitted to venture over with them because you might not want to come back. However, if you think you're going to avoid death because it's unsanitary, we have some news for you. There will be no avoiding death in the years to come. It is a privilege. Remember this throughout all time. It is a privilege to assist people to die. The death walker's job is to assist people into a place of forgiveness, allowing the death release to occur without any attachments to blame, judgments, or victimhood. There is an art to this because often in the final moments people open to forgiveness. As dying people get close to their maker, time collapses, moments elongate into poignant lessons of life, and a great opportunity is at hand. The greatest act of forgiveness is ultimately to yourself because you passed all judgments and made forgiveness necessary. You can assist the dying to find peace in their lives, to exit in serenity and love with smiles on their faces. Help them by asking them to look for friends or relatives or others they would recognize to beckon them onward. This is a pivotal key in assisting in death walking. Part of this experience involves your being able to say to a person who is dying, "You are loved. You are beautiful. You are like a newborn babe going into another realm. Release now anyone and everything that is a burden to you. Release everything and know that you have lived your life to the fullest. There is no judgment on you. Go in peace, put a smile on your face, and release any judgments you hold. Relax and allow your life to have meaning as you embark on the next phase of your identity." There is healing in death because there is life on the other side of death. As you send your energy to these individuals in transition, transmit it also to Earth. Support Earth in her process and let her know that you want to be here to participate in the transformation. It is a true form of allowing when you surrender to the process and allow Earth to do what is necessary. As Earth continues her dance of purification and the shaking and moving intensifies, you will be impulsed to cluster together to enhance existing communities or form new communities. Each community will grow and flourish based on its members' abilities to feel and to create thought forms together. Each community will need to energize a cooperative codicil so that everyone can come together to contribute food, shelter, music, movement, and sound. The system of communities will go back to the old ways of living in which you need each other. It will reestablish the ancient blueprint of relationships by which you experience interconnected living. There will be disagreements, however. In general, all of you must want to work to energize similar thought forms. These thought forms will create energetic fields around the areas you dwell, and those who come to your doors will be drawn there, your thought forms acting as magnets. If your thought forms and the community are strong, and your bond with one another is established and readily energized and strengthened, you will draw to yourselves those of like intention. You will not wonder who these 100 people are who want to join your community. You will know that if 100 people show up to be integrated in your community, that your established thought forms drew these people to you rather than to another community. If your community is out of balance and in great dissension, you will create all kinds of chaotic energy. You must learn to work together, and if someone cannot work in a group and creates a descending force in the community, then the community will have to seek to heal that person. The person will have to be available to be healed and to be responsible for whatever is creating the disharmony. Or, if the person continues with the disharmony, he or she may have to face leaving the community. You will not be able to have warring factions in the days ahead. A lot of your work will involve healing, being very tolerant and compassionate, and reading the signs and symbols. You'll need to allow other people and yourselves to act out whatever is needed for you to come to deep realizations and move through them. Each person that is a part of the community must contribute to the whole of the community so that everyone adds their talent. Communities will specialize in certain products and talents and abilities which will be determined by the collection of consciousness of the people. You might ask, how will I know what collection of consciousness of people I will end up with? An invisible hand will move you to the community that you can serve and that can serve you according to your intentions, beliefs, and desires. You will feel relief when you belong to a community and live closer to the land, breathe fresh air, and feel alive. There will be a new vitality in food. There will be deeper laughter in relationships and a greater value to every moment of life. Eventually, you will come to the conclusion that life is to be played, and that only in playing life can you succeed in work. If you do not play properly, you cannot have successful work. The work needs always to benefit the community. Many healings will take place, communities will be inspired to build, and a renaissance of the temple culture will occur. All over this land, sites will be marked and sacred buildings of beauty brought forth. Earth changes will open many secrets from deep in Earth herself. The pyramids that dot this land and are covered over will be uncovered, and many cracks and crevices will reveal ancient sites long buried. A community that can meld its thought forms, move beyond personal ego battles, and come up with a viable purpose and quality to life will be successful. In some communities, vegetation can be grown around meditation, sound, and intent as an ongoing communication with nature. Members of communities can tone together and make dreams and music together. These will be the most sought-out communities, the ones that play the best. This does not mean you will move into a hedonism in which you forget, eat, take drugs, drink to forget, and then think that is play. When you play, you will consciously play with energy, freeing it and directing it in a childlike fashion. Then you will have the duty, responsibility, and dedication to want to make your community a magnificent place. There is greater power in interacting with a group. Many of your talents that will contribute to community are undiscovered and unrecognized at this moment, these talents will come from inside you. Your energy fields will be based on a cooperative codicil that the core group of the community will agree to establish. This core group will not do this in secret, for there will be no secrets. The day of secrets will be over. A code of behavior will be needed, which everyone who lives in the community will take an oath to uphold. Fields of energy will surround everyone, creating wisdom and fairness. Everyone from the tiniest baby to the oldest member to the animals will live in these fields. As founders, you must get very clear about what you know works. If you adopt very basic ideas to harmonize, cooperate, and dream together, you will be a success. Dreaming must become an essential part of community life, because it is through dreams that people reveal who they are. Through dreams, you can discover off-balance energy and seek to return to balance. Those who have problems in waking life play them out in dream life. People who have grave difficulty in the waking world have more difficulty in the dream world. Listening to dreams will give you clues about who people are. Learn to listen and observe without judgment, allowing your intuition to guide you. You will pool resources and share your ideas about food, education, better business, leisure time, and places of meditation. Prioritize and agree that a strong community comes first, knowing that each person is a valuable asset to the whole community. As you do these things, you establish a field of ideas or a field of thought. You'll create a huge thought form over the community. Those who have a predilection for reading thought forms will be able to view your community and know, by reading the energy in the thought forms, who you are and what you're about. Your thought forms will be a new sort of etheric telegraph. No one person will be in charge of your community. You will all contribute your own common sense, impulses, and spontaneity. You cannot look to one person to come up with all of the ideas. It is essential that you all value yourselves on this journey. As you design your community or place to live, you must be able to speak with the plants and animals. This is essential. It sounds a little far-fetched, yet it is not, because right now you just don't take the time to do it. How many of you have sat down lately and had a chat with your dog or cat? This develops your sensitivity and takes you to a new level with decision-making and advice, because animals and plants perceive their knowledge directly from Earth. They are tuned in and patiently waiting for you to recognize that they can help you and advise you. They can tell you all their healing secrets and show you where all the energy places are. They can show you everything. They know. Do you know why they know? Because they don't exploit nature and the earth. Because you as humans exploit as a species, things are hidden from you. The animals and plants will be your way showers to the devic and elemental kingdoms, the natural kingdoms that are governed by those forces whose reality is unrecognized by yours. Take the time to find intelligence in the chrysanthemums, the grasshoppers, the ants, in all these things. The experience will implode everywhere for anyone who wants to become connected to Earth. The healing of Earth will come about because of the conversing and exchanging with all of Earth's occupants. The rites of birth are going to change. The value of birth and what women do to bring children into this world will come into the highest honor. A man will be honored to stand next to a mother and child and say, "It is my child," reclaiming the pride and responsibility that goes with fathering a child. Women will no longer experience shame with childbirth. Why do so many women not have fathers for their children? Because they're ashamed of the process and not connected to the honor of what they are doing. There will come a time when a man will truly seek the favor of a woman. He will want to be in her vibration, to bond more than anything else, to be a part of the miracle of life, and to deliver children. It will be completely changed. Your current era will be looked upon as a most barbaric time when the darkest of darkness was at hand, and when women themselves did not even know that they were playing out the patriarchal game of birth. Your communities will be oriented toward children, toward what you can do for children to create a safe, loving, nurturing environment. You will learn from the children as they become your teachers. They will instruct you and share with you what they know and what is going on from their perspective. There will be a series of children born this decade whom we call the family of love. They will teach you about the energy of the goddess and about love as a force of creation. They will carry the epitome of creative energy. They'll be born to those who know how to honor their sexuality. When a couple unites in the highest vibration of spiritual energy with complete chakra opening and intention to invite an energy to life, this allows the family of love individuals to be born. Many of these children will be highly evolved, speaking eloquently within a few days or months of birth. They will know and remember many things. They will say, "I have returned." They will walk, talk, perform tasks, and speak other languages. They will look different. The period you carry these children will be shortened. Everything in your bodies will speed up, so the gestation period will be less. These children will experience ecstatic births and will transfer to their mothers the same experience and take away the pain of birth. They will not drain their mothers. They will enhance them. Their consciousness will depend upon the consciousness of their fathers. How highly evolved the male vibration on the planet can demonstrate itself to be. It is in the hands of the man at this time on your planet to demonstrate what kind of consciousness you can welcome from space. These children will be looked upon as prized members of every community, as lucky omens. They'll be in telepathic link-up with one another all over the planet. Whatever room they walk into, they will be able to maintain the same flow of creative energy through their hearts. For their presence will stimulate and raise the vibration of all they come in contact with. They will not be large in stature. They will be blue. They will be from the blue ray, for they will be Pleiadian consciousness and will have specific tasks to do. They will be a part of every community, born on every continent and every tribe. They will come here to bring the love vibration and to teach you. These children will be a telepathic link with the goddess. They will be in direct communication with the goddess because they will carry the love creation frequency. They will speed up everyone's telepathic communication so that you will hear and feel what other people are thinking. This will discipline you to be more in alignment and selective with your thinking. This is the biggest challenge to the planet at this time. You need to comprehend that what you think has an effect on reality. How many of you believe this concept based on trust? However, it shortly will be demonstrated as living proof in existence, and all people will see it. These children will be phenomenal. They'll be treasured because their consciousness will be so valuable. They'll be like having walking gold among you. They will change the vibration of all people, and the flow of creativity will change. As they emerge as valuable members of families and societies, all communities will consider themselves to be in the highest of fortune to have these members in their midst. These love avatars will return. They will lead the way and link you with all other communities around the world. These children will create telepathic link-ups with their potential parents so choices can be made. We wish to communicate to each of you that you do have a choice. Will you exercise that choice? Or will you slip into disempowerment and think that you have no effect on what your body can do? This teaching is crucial to the days that are coming. Each of you, as a female or male embodying the goddess or god energy in all phases, needs to embrace the idea that you have power over your body, over the life-giving process, over the distribution of your kundalini, and that you decide when a child can enter through you. Not all of you have these unique children. These children will seek out those with appropriate consciousness and bloodlines. They will be born in every village and community. They will help change the planetary vibration and will be born to parents who have a spiritual and psychic experience of sexuality. These children will be the embodiment of the vibration of love and will willingly decide to carry a mark of difference within them. They will be engineered in the very DNA of your bodies and your bloodstreams. Depending upon the choices of consciousness, there is presently the potential for many places to no longer exist. You will take your children first to safety before yourselves, and Spirit will gather up children from all over the world. The children are indeed your treasured resource, your lineage and form, seeking to live in a vital world. Make it a priority to provide them with a safe world. In the later years of this decade, much of your work will be with and for children. Soon you will not recognize life on the planet because what you now experience as routine and take for granted will not be here. There's nothing to be afraid of. Many of you will go through experiences to discover where your power lies and where your energy is, and you will discover that it all lies within you. You're all qualified to surf through these times that are coming, to ride these waves and rise above the churning and the undertows. You all have the knowledge to stay on the crest of the waves. Therefore, you do not need to fear anything that is coming. We want to ask something of you. No matter where you are, no matter what is going on, no matter how severe events may seem to get, we want you to promise to always bring fun, love, and laughter to every day of your life. Take time out to say, hey, listen, we're too freaked out over this. Let's laugh for a little bit. Let's stop and have tea. Let's energize the pleasure frequency. These are the most brilliant and uplifting of times. They are magnificent. It is just that you do not have daily reminders of this. There are unique sound and light technologies that are energizing new opportunities for effortlessness and cooperation. There are many, many solutions that are being born. The new civilizations may desire to advance to a high degree of technological skill and experimentation. They will only be successful when their creations are ruled by the mind in connection with the heart and spirit. When creations are co-ruled by the mind and heart, they are a living technology. The differentiation we are making is that technology will become alive. It will be run in cooperation with the minds of those who created it. Then it can appear as hardware, though it will be living hardware. This is the phase you will go into. Understand that all you create and bring life to, you do with your mind. What you do with your mind and how you invest it is a key to your survival and the survival of the planet Earth. Energy exercise. Willing your body into stillness, feel the pillar of light, energizing, cleansing, and reminding your body of its idealized functions. Intend that the pillar of light fill your body, and intend that health and well-being pulsate through the cells and essence of who you are. As you feel this energy come through your body, combine the energy that is yours with your surroundings in a way that can benefit all. Relax, and with rays of light, reach inside yourself in the area of your solar plexus, a place of will, feeling, and power. Imagine you are pulling something out, a piece of gold, a diamond, a gem that is beyond price. Hold in your hands the object you consider to be priceless value that you have discovered inside yourself. Marvel at the majestic beauty of your treasure. Imagine now you are with a large group of people, and each of you is holding an inner gem of priceless value. One by one, you walk up to a green and gold cloth. With great gentleness and great reverence, lay your treasure down. It is a symbol of the value you have inside yourself that you are willing to contribute to the whole of humanity so that it can benefit. Your gift may be as large or small as you select. Once you have laid it down, step back and stand in the circle, observing the gems and treasures representing the collection of your group's contributions. Sense our presence as well. Feel the results of combining your wealth with that of the others in the group. Now imagine what you would like this collection of wealth to contribute to Earth, as well as to your own heart's desire. As your wealth is acknowledged, feel the pillar of light energizing you. What do you imagine that will make a difference for Earth? Hold your vision as clearly as you can. Feel the energy move around the circle of consciousness. Let the energy spiral and spin, moving quickly from one person to another, reminding you to invest yourself with mind and heart in the future of Earth. And this concludes Earth's initiation. I found this very powerful. We've spoken a lot about the transition from third density to fourth density, from old Earth to new Earth. In the Law of One Material, they explain that a social memory complex will develop. This social memory complex is the part of the growing into a larger group mindset. There's going to be a little process that's going to go on, and it could take thousands of years. We may not see it in our lifetime. This is talking about it as if it's going to happen tomorrow, and I believe that it could be a ways off. We've also read from the Quo material that all of the anger, fear, and negative energy is held in the earth, and the earth releases it. When it does, there's earthquakes and hurricanes, and so this may cause a displacement in the earth at some point. And if you can trust your instincts and be aware of what's going on, you'll be safe. We've established if you're an earth-sun conduit, the earth's going to create a perfect reality around you. And if you decide, hey, I think I need to move, I'd like to move, you're following an instinct within your heart that tells you maybe that's the best place to go. In this process, we will join in communities, and these communities will be the beginning of the New Earth process. We will become telepathic. Now, it'll be very interesting when blue babies are born. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. If it does, I sure hope that we can handle it. We really have not proven that we can handle it in the past. Certain groups can, but I don't know. Watch the movie Sweet Tooth on Netflix and tell me what you think. If babies are born that can start speaking eloquently right away, that would be just amazing. That enhance us, that bring about telepathic communications. I would love that. I think it's a fascinating concept. In any case, what we get here is the Pleiadians talking to us from their own perspective as they have witnessed these profound transitions in consciousness on other planets, and probably including their own. We get from the Law of One material that this sort of transition occurred on Venus. We know that there will be a transition, and in this process, communities will form and we will become aware of greater abilities. We will have a different level of consciousness. We create our reality, and our awareness of our reality creation will change. So this is one example of how it could change. This is simply them telling us what has happened on other planets. It could be different, but I believe it's interesting to study this. If this is a legitimate channeling where they're talking about this transition, we can learn from it. When we learn from these things, when we go through our own transition on the new earth, we can refer back to stuff like this to help us to understand, oh yeah, I understand that. The energy exercise at the end is a profound exercise that we can do to establish a link to our community and to give some sort of resource within ourselves symbolically through meditation. It's very powerful. I would love to know your perspective on this. Do you think the blue babies will be born, and can we accept them? I would love for you to tell me what your impressions would be. A lot of this makes sense. We're going to have changes that are going to occur in the future, and I'm imagining that all the people listening to this now will be the leaders in that future world. We'll be the trendsetters. We'll be the ones that bring love to whatever situation it is. And that's what we need. We need love in these situations so that we can go through this transition in the proper way. And it is time for us to heal as a planet, as a community, as individuals. You can find all the episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. Check out my playlists on the New Earth and the Pleiadians. Those will go further into these particular discussions. In any case, welcome to the Reality Revolution.